Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Halal Hamalawi. You're watching Q News. Let's take a look at the top stories making headlines this hour. The Kremlin said that President Vladimir Putin has arrived in Magadan ahead of Friday's summit with U.S. President Donald Trump in Alaska. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov announced that Russian President Vladimir Putin has arrived in the city of Magadan before his anticipated meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump in Alaska on Friday. During his visit, Putin will tour industrial production sites and meet with regional governor Sergei Nosov. Peskov added that after the visit, Putin will travel to Alaska to address Russian-American affairs. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov stated that Moscow will not speculate in advance about the outcome of the upcoming summit on Friday between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Speaking to Russian state television upon his arrival in the state of Alaska, Lavrov said that they are not making any prior speculations, adding that Russia has no hidden agendas or ambiguous positions and that President Vladimir Putin will present all the matters clearly. Rodion Miroshnik, the Russian Foreign Ministry's envoy on crimes of the Kiev regime, said that he expects U.S. President Donald Trump to visit Russia following his anticipated summit today with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska. Miroshnik predicted that Trump would travel to Russia after Putin's visit to the United States, highlighting what he described as the growth and expansion of U.S.-Russia relations. He added that ties between the world's two major geopolitical powers should not be limited to the issue of Ukraine alone. European leaders are watching the upcoming Trump-Putin summit closely amid concerns over its impact on the war in Ukraine. European leaders are expressing unease ahead of the planned summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Observers told U.S. media outlets that the meeting could shift the course of Moscow's war in Ukraine, prompting governments across the continent to monitor the talks with heightened attention. Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati firmly rejected Israel's expansion of aggression in Gaza and its recent decisions to increase settlement activity in the West Bank. In a phone call with the EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Kaya Kallas, Abdelati also condemned recent statements promoting the concept of a so-called Greater Israel, stressing that such rhetoric only fuels tensions, escalation, and instability in the region. He briefed the European official on Egypt's ongoing efforts carried out in coordination with Qatar and the United States to broker a deal that ensures a ceasefire, facilitates the delivery of humanitarian aid, and includes the release of hostages and a number of Palestinian detainees. Israeli media, citing a source close to the White House, reported that Trump asked Netanyahu to speed up military operations in Gaza. The Israeli outlets added that the Minister of Strategic Affairs warned during a meeting of the Security Cabinet that Washington's patience with the war in Gaza is beginning to run out. 15 Palestinians were killed and others wounded since early Friday morning in ongoing Israeli airstrikes on the Gaza Strip, marking the 679th day of the offensive. According to the Palestinian news agency, 3 Palestinians were killed in a strike on the Al-Iqlimi area southwest of Khan Yunis in the southern part of the Strip. The agency also reported that 2 Palestinians seeking aid were shot and killed by Israeli forces near the Netzarim Aid Distribution Center in central Gaza. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights stated that Israel's plan to build thousands of new housing units between an Israeli settlement in the West Bank and near East Jerusalem is illegal under international law. A spokesperson for the Commission said that the plan would fragment the West Bank into isolated enclaves, adding that It is a war crime for an occupying power to transfer its civilian population into the territory it occupies. And this concludes our top stories for this hour. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more updates here on Qnews.